breaking news. We regret to inform you that we have to disrupt your regular scheduled programming at this time because we need to talk about something, my friends. Okay, welcome to the channel. You know who I am, Brian the Divine Healer here with you. Finally got my internet back. Okay, so I'm gonna be back doing some readings and stuff, but it was kind of painful, right? Painful. What's the breaking news, you say? This is the breaking news. Check this out. I have to put into perspective of the reality that I live in, and as well as you, because you live in this planet just like I do, okay? So now we definitely see a whole bunch of things going on in the world, like, the wars and things like that, hostages, and then we're gonna break it down on the American level to be discussing politics. That's right, politics, okay? For many reasons, I've just been trying to ignore these visual clues, these messages, these downloads, whatever you want to call it. But I have an assignment and I'm here to execute it irrelevant of any other situation. So I want to talk about the border. Okay. It seems to me that we have this tit for tat going on. Tit for tat. Right. History does repeat itself, my friends, in the case of the Civil War. I'm not saying we're having one, so chill out. I'm not provoking one. I'm just reminding you of history. And I mentioned the Civil War because we had the Union and the Confederacy, and I just recently did a video about that, right? Everybody is entitled to their own opinions, right? But if you are running the show and you have the mass of people in your hand and you're supposed to keep them safe, well, then those opinions should be unified, right? Right. But we're human. Or you are, right? So anyways, the border crisis is just that. It's a crisis. And I know that you know this, but here I am going to go with my bullet points. I already have this registered out so that I know what I want to say. So I don't get all lost and jumbled, okay? Just to break it down on a little bit of a easy going style, right? But now here we go. Okay, who is in charge of the border? Simple question. Who's in charge? Who's the czar of the border? Right. Kamala Harris, the VP. What has been said on her behalf about anything that has to do with the border? She was picked to be the border czar, as they coined it. And yet there's nothing. So just take that, put it in your box over here. Save that one for later. Let's keep going. Okay. I don't like the sham that's going on right now, right? I just gotta keep it real. I won't sway you from what is supposed to be the truth. I have no interest, I have no kind of, we'll just leave it at interest. I have no interest other than serving the divine's will. And if he gives me these messages with the authority of his will, then you're gonna get it. Whether it's 2 in the morning, whether it's something silly on my shorts, it doesn't matter. I'm here to present this to you because it is the truth. It's like Congress, between the Democrats and the Republicans, it's beyond a circus. It's like high school drama. Seriously, high school drama. All kidding aside, though, not everybody is that way in Congress, obviously, because we do have good people that support the situations that are mandatory for the American people, right? For this great nation to survive. to maintain, right? And so history does repeat itself. We're in an awkward situation here. Now, there was a recent ruling of the Supreme Court to allow the Border Patrol to go into Texas and cut the barbed wire that was put up with the extra help of National Guardsmen and things like that to keep you safe, keep me safe, keep the migrants safe, right? There is a process. If you want to come to this country, there is a process. But take that, put it in the box over here, because we'll get to that later. So there is a process, right? But let's rewind, because when we talked about the Civil War, it wasn't just about the war. That's just the crux, right? It's the division. That's what was going on. Difference of opinion. Stay with me. It's not that hard. The intelligence level of this video shouldn't be that high of an 8th grader. Just saying. Okay? So, let's go into history and see when this administration had been first enacted. I'm the president, right? And what did he do immediately? He repealed. Let me say this again. He took away, he negated, he subtracted, he repealed, he bounced out of that shit certain laws that were in place to keep that part of our society, which is immigration, running smooth, right? Running smooth. And so then, as you know, because I could pop up a whole bunch of news clips and prove my facts of this as I'm doing this video, but I don't get paid enough to do that much creativity, okay? Just keep it real. You can check that shit out. So, as time went on, nothing of the administration was mentioned about the border, period. Except, my little darling, the Border Patrol. Because those are the agents that are actually the federal agents that are like the police that actually are assigned to patrol the border. I was trying to do it funny, but it didn't work. So, in the history that I am speaking of, we're going to go back to the beginning of the administration. We're going to see that the influx of people, the migrants of the surges of people that came into this country under this administration, negating the already in place measures to keep that system working relatively smoothly, right? Just in case it need to be worked out, of course, right? But that's not going to even be in one of those boxes, okay? So I can remember, because this ain't no Matrix and this is not no Mandela effect, right? Gotta keep it hip with the youngsters, right? You gotta keep them on board, right? So, I'm trying to keep calm, okay? I'm trying to keep my composure. So when the Border Patrol was getting an influx of migrants, they didn't know what to do with them. They didn't have enough personnel, enough border agents, is what I'm saying, to handle all the people that just decided to come on in. And pause right there. How random, in all of the glorious years of this nation that we've had to deal with this issue, how many other times, my friend, in history can you tell me that we had a situation like this with massive amounts of immigrants were flooding to this country from other countries? Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that one out. That's gonna go in a box over here. Keep that there, okay? So, when the Border Patrol was asking for extra help, they had no facilities to keep all these extra migrants even in place, never mind necessitating them with, the basic needs of food, shelter, clothing, things like that, while they waited their time to present their case of political asylum. Now you tell me, no, because you have other situations that are going on. So before I get into that, back to the Border Patrol, okay? So the influx of people was too much. You remember this, I know that you do. Google that shite. Google it. You'll see. This light is so bright in my face, but it helps with the professionalism, right? Gives me a headache. Maybe I'm gonna rig some up to go overhead, right? I don't know, I'll figure something out. I'm gonna do some genius stuff here in a little bit. But, so, when there was a major panic and a major struggle, there wasn't even a tweet, a peep, a TikTok, there wasn't a YouTube short, there was nothing from the administration to say that we got your back. And rightfully so, because if the federal government is, what did they use the term? Within jurisdiction to command the border with their agents, look at how that worked out. Look at how that worked out. So, this is the part that I don't like. So basically for the past 3 years, that's what we've been dealing with the statistics getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more people coming in. Now we have a huge issue. So the great state of Texas, our chosen leader, Greg Abbott, our governor, decided, hey, we're not getting any help. We need to do something. So if you tie a person's hands, unless his name is Houdini, then damn, that person's gonna be stuck, okay? So, Abbott just was alleviating the situation by sending those migrants to where? The safest place that they could go, which was where? The sanctuary cities. That's right, people, sanctuary cities. So you can protect all your criminals and all your things and all these things that stands for, which should not be allowed in this country. That's just my personal opinion. Anyways, let's keep on track. Okay, so before Greg Abbott, when the Border Patrol was like, help, 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 we're drowning, right? We don't have enough food, we don't have enough water. And when you're in Texas in the summertime, boy, it's hot. I mean, it's hot. Real hot. Like African desert safari hot, right? Yeah. So, we're gonna go back to history and we're gonna pull this box over here. We're gonna go, hey, Kamala Harris, aren't you the czar? First of all, if we're a republic of the United States of the we the people, the word czar is totally communist. And you know it. Don't let me go there. Please, God, I'm not ready to send that message out yet, so stay on point, thank you. That's her job. That's what she was paid for. I mean VP, but that, Biden had to make it a big old thing. Whoa, look at this woman now. She's in charge of the border. What happened? Nothing. Still nothing, right? Still nothing. So now we have an issue where not only the state of Texas was getting influxed, they couldn't handle it. The federal agents, the Border Patrol, who's in charge of the border, according to the Supreme Court Justice, who says their jurisdiction to cut the wires and all this other stuff, to step in and assist the people to come into the country, right? But now we're going to go back to the history and be like, where are we putting these people? Border Patrol's back to square one. See? Let's keep going. So now we got that part squared away, right? And so some of it, like what I don't like, what all of it that I don't like is this. You cannot sit on your ass and do nothing, not even say a word, like I said, a tweet, not a peep, not even from the person you picked to do the job. They couldn't even say nothing about, hey, homies, because you work for us, we'll help you. Border Patrol. That's incompetence, my friends. That is incompetence. But you cannot stand today, right now, and have all these people be so convinced that you've been doing something about this when you haven't. You tore down the wall, you did all these other things, but guess what? You had to go backwards in history. Because why? Your third year's up, now you're coming into the fourth. What does that mean? About to be having a vote for the next leader, right? So now you want to overturn your own, I want to say renege on your own idea of not building the wall, tearing it down, just like now you're going over there, cutting up the barbed wire, which was set in place, reasons because of that state park and things like that, which was probably, I said in the past video, that was probably the meeting point of the separation of you can go over here and you guys go over there because we want these people. And you know what I'm talking about. Freaking criminals. Yeah, with that list. What's that list all about, right? It's part of it. On a grandioso scale, I don't know. Theory, maybe. Conjecture, probably. But, you know, facts speak for themselves. So, for you to kick it up in the fourth gear and say, look at me now. I'm doing stuff. I'm making things happen. I'm going to the Supreme Court. I'm overruling Texas. I'm doing all this stuff. Look at me. I'm a superhero. That is your agenda to hopefully get elected because you knew that you sat on your ass the whole time. You had a chance to do something. Right? So, fast forward to Abbott. Now he's sending the people on the buses to sanctuary cities, right? That's the best, safest analogy that I could think of, right? Right. So now, isn't it funny? Not in my backyard. That's all I'm hearing. Not in my backyard, New York City. Not in my backyard, Chicago. Wherever else that these mayors and shit had to step up and be like, we're the bounty and we can't handle all the influx of the migrants to our cities because we don't have anywhere to put them. Well, gosh darn it, ain't that some shit for karma? Karma. You better start believing in God because that's God's favorite little pet, karma. Because now you are feeling what Texas has been feeling. The overwhelming lack of resources, can't get this shit right for everybody. You tell me that every other country does not have some kind of border enforcement. Bitch! If I try to go to Sweden like this right now, denied. Let me see if I can go to Germany. Denied. Can I go to Russia? Denied. Why? Can I go to Australia, mate? Maybe. I don't know. But everybody has the rules and regulations. You know what I'm saying, mate? And it's to keep the people safe. So let's go back in history a little bit. We the people. So there would be no government if it wasn't for the people. Based off one and one thing only that I'm going to mention. We pay you with our taxes and our this and our that, and these fees and that and this and this and this. Your salaries, your jobs are what we picked and what we decided for you. Right. So don't ever forget that, because it has been long forgotten that us, we the people, had that right. Gave you that birth. Lined your pockets. Put groceries in your house. Because we picked you. You can't pick yourself, sucker. Right? Well, somebody tried. I don't know, that's a whole nother conspiracy theory. But, you know what I'm talking about. So now they're feeling the karma, these sanctuary cities, of, ooh, oh my God, we don't know what to do with them, and we're so frustrated and so overwhelmed, and we need to make all these laws that can fix this, and because it's all Abbott's fault. Now, is it really Abbott's fault? Shut your face. This is why I say it's like high school drama. Actually, I can't even put it in the same category, because I think a lot of my high school years was pretty all right. So, drama free. Even though I went to high school with like all black people. Straight up. Shut your face. They used to call me Vanilla in high school. Walking down the halls. Yo, Vanilla. And that was just right at the same time that Vanilla Ice was coming out. But I had to cut my hair first like that, so. Okay, so this is the drama. High School Musical. This is like Caddyshack. It's worst. So, for me to sit here and say these condescending things that are just the facts, you gotta deal with it, okay? I don't slow things down to be so fairy tale sounding. Whatever the facts are gonna be, they're just gonna go slapping in your face with it. Metaphorically speaking, of course. But, man, one thing that I definitely know that truly exists in this world besides evil is the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy. You can't claim victory for something you fell on your face about, when you had plenty of opportunities and other people to give you that clarity to jump in at any time. But somehow, when somebody's going to disrupt the henhouse, well, now we got to jump to the Supreme Court and take action. We're going to fast forward to the migrants. Y'all are liars. Not everybody has the need for amnesty, okay? Just saying that. Majority, maybe. Some, definitely not, okay? Such a scam, such a sham. So, here's one point. The people of other countries, I love y'all. You watch my stuff. I'm in like 72 countries. I love y'all, but I gotta give you the divine truth. I gotta bust that will out on you. If it's in your country that things are not going for the whole of everybody's safety and right to live a certain kind of comfortable life, those grievances are probably major. I know we've had apartheid and all those other things I don't want to get into, because that's not what I'm trying to touch base on. I'm trying to say that instead of, well, we could blame your country for doing those things. But instead of running away to come to the United States for amnesty, for protection against your other country that was treating you bad, take a lesson from the United States. The United States don't run from nothing. We don't run from nothing. We run to it. That's the people. The people are the ones that want the change, and we bring that change. Okay? You see the peaceful protests. You see some of the laws that get passed because things are done right by the whole of the collective. You have that ability to change your country, like you see us trying to do. Okay? So you need to follow suit. We can't babysit you. We can't protect you. We can't give you things that we're not giving our own citizens. It's not right. Not saying you don't deserve it, my friend, but it's just not right. Veterans get shit on. Are you kidding me? We're the ones protecting this country so our people can lay their heads down at night peacefully and sleep in safety. You need to bring the change to your people, your government, your power. You have that ability. You have God's will in you. Everybody does. Flip the switch, get it going. So, where were we? Oh yeah, we were on the incompetence of I'm a superhero all of a sudden now because I want to win this election when it just is a statistical poll showing of the facts. Sounds good to me. Right, so I've covered a lot that have been very much the mainstream issues of what's going on. You know, the amnesty, the Border Patrol issues, Governor Abbott's, you know, the other states, like it's a lot. The reforming of legislation to keep some things in place, all these other things, right? But this is my one thing. We all know there's an issue. We do. So to bid to the highest court of the land to look like a badass when you didn't do shit in the first place, to have your agents go back into ground zero to enforce the law and say we can control you, Texas. But not having any kind of fucking plan. Everybody wants to bitch about the problem. We all know the problem. But everybody just bitches and bitches and bitches. I would take that back. Not everybody, because there are people that really work hard to try to get these laws and different things worked out. I.e. Governor Abbott, right? God bless him. Thank you. I have to bring you back to history. It's not what you, Mr. President, thinks, or Miss Vice President, or Congress, or anybody really on an individual level. It is a collective consciousness of we the people. If we the people think that this scenario, situation, circumstances is not right, then it is up to y'all to, first of all, hear us, hear our grievances, so that way maybe you'll take one of our ideas, or take something that was said and use it with what you think, put it together to make an idea to fix and have a solution. Nothing will ever get fixed if you, first of all, you keep repeating the same stuff. I know this, I'm a living example, right? But I have missions going on, okay? So it's not about contradiction, okay? It's about reality. And the reality is that putting your Billy Badass pants on just to be like, we're getting the Border Patrol back in there, that's drama we don't need. Look at every other country looking at us. Shut your face. Now this is coming to the last point that I gotta say that I detest this whole thing. How strict were the immigration laws during 9/11? Tell me. Somebody fact check me on that shit, please. Throw a comment up. Oh, I think it was pretty rigorous. Why? Because we had foreign nationals, foreign peoples, foreign terrorists come over to this country, learn how to fly a plane, and then you know the rest. But sure as shit, after that day, boy, you know we locked it down. You know we locked it down. Look at the struggles in the airport, dude. Stop. So what I'm aggravated about is we have the Israel and Hamas war. There was an obscene amount of money released to Israel, to Iran past years. And now look at Iran's all over the place dropping shit on all of our troops. A missile attack just hit and soldiers got hurt, seriously hurt. Because Iran is Iran. And they have little groups that go out like Hamas to carry out their deeds and their will of that government. But funded from that government because they're giving them all these cool rocket launchers to go wreak havoc in Israel, right? If you're a sloppy ass fucking jihadist terrorist organization that you have to resort to hurting children, you filthy swines, you're coming out with your glorious weapons. Well, we can see where that all kind of leads up to in the theory. But the escalation is this. With the distractions of the war and the open borders, raise your hands if you think maybe an Iranian snuck in. Raise your hands if you think a Hamas terrorist snuck in. Raise your hand if you think that we're having war with people that don't like us and we're stepping on their shit to keep one safe or not, or whatever. I don't know. It's too high schoolish. Do you not think that there's a national security issue here? Because there has been since 9/11. And if we have all these threats from like North Korea, oh, let's have a North Korean coming in as a terrorist, right? It's open borders. They just said that they were gonna have war with us. I mean, check the news. Don't just hear me on this because it's just quick that I'm saying this because it's not really the point. I'm trying to bring it all together. So don't criticize me in the comments being, oh, you said North Korea's going to go to war with us. Just go and read the news. Check it out, right? Do your civics. Do your social understanding, right? But all these other threats that are going on, nobody in this environment, in this administration seems to think that there's a big deal going on. So let me ask you this. How many generals under this administration? Be my little general. Brigadier general, major general, lieutenant general, on and on and on, 5-star generals. How many have you did your little think tanking and decided to see that this could be a huge national security threat? And that actually Texas was right into fortifying our positions against such threat. But under the guise of your employer, you haven't said nothing. Not anything that could be of demonstrative meaning that you have your essence or your authority to give your advice to the commander-in-chief about this shit. Because it clearly is a huge threat. And now it's in the interior of the United States because all these sanctuary cities, they have the overflow of the migrants, are freaking out. No. We gotta go to like cold blue. We gotta escalate those levels of threats like we had in the past directly after 9/11. Trust me, I've been on bases. We've had our escalation of forces in the appropriate colors to let us know that there's some things you can't do, shit you can, whatever, yeah. Just enforcing the safety standards to be on alert because there are threats. And by Governor Abbott's pleading to get the appropriated help because there are threats coming in, like the criminals from whatever countries, the fentanyl that's coming in killing everybody. The rationale turns my stomach to make me feel so sick to think that this is what's going on. All because you just are trying so hard, so many ways, but failed so many other times to get a certain person out of the public arena. But it's not your will, it's God's will. So that's what will be, it will be. But if not, take a seat. And God's will is with us all the time because you get the nudges of your intuition. Your intuition. Signs and synchronicities. You hear a song on the radio, it makes you think something. You see something on TV, it makes you feel something. You talk to your neighbor, well now we can do something. We gotta put our heads together, my friends, and we really gotta come up with a solution, an alternative that it doesn't matter who it facilitates, one side or more opinions or we want or some shit. No. It's for the betterment of all. For the betterment of all. So congressmen, people, my friends, remember how frightened some of y'all were? Like Chuck Schumer and his fucking weird whack-ass stories about how he was so scared and intimidated. But you know who the first person that died during that insurrection? Supposed insurrection, free will, I would say, grievancing the government, but you know, we have some people that are just not so, politically correct. So they didn't stand there and shout, they kind of wanted to take action, right? Which was immature, of course, but the first person that died was an American veteran. Shame on you. Oh, and those video cameras that show the corridors of the doorways and all that shit with the DC police opening them doors for the people to come right in. Shut your face. Oh, how we forget our history, my friends. But I'm here to remind you that it is there in black and white. And I had to bring it to you because we need solutions. We don't need everybody talking about, we need the border closed, we need the border closed, da 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 da. And then other people are like, no, we need people in. Well, we need common ground. If you want people in, look at what's happening in Texas. Look what's happening in these sanctuary cities. Do we want more people coming in? Do you want to lose your job because somebody else is getting it? Do you want to lose your benefits because they're getting it? Do you want to pay for more taxes because you're paying for them to come here and be settled and comfortable when you're not? Stop. People, wake up. Seriously. It's just that easy, that simple, that cut and dry. Come at me in the comments and I'll just flick you away, you little fleas. I ain't got time for that. This is serious business. There needs to be an appropriate mechanical door that opens and regulates who can come in and what, because 5 million people all can't be claiming amnesty. It's just, one size doesn't fit all, my friends. It just doesn't, okay? So, Congress, put your heads together like you have been, huh? The other ones that want to play High School Musical and shit, you know, is this how you thank us for electing you into your office and putting that fat billfold in your pocket to ride around with a chauffeur and eat $200 ice creams, some shit like that? I hope a little sense of guilt comes over you to do the right thing. If you have not, if you're on the other side of just letting it all be a disaster, well, I think you should be fired. If you have no solutions and you sit there like a deer in the headlights, or you want to come up against a good idea when you don't have one yourself, you're fired. Seriously, that should be as plain as day. So let that guilt work on you, and hopefully you can step up and really kick it in to contribute to an idea to fix this. Because there are ideas. It's just you gotta see your way out of the circus, out of the High School Musical, and then you gotta look at the people. Ask them. What do you think we should do, United States people? Hey, everybody in the United States, what do you think we should do? Huh? 50% say build the wall, 50% say don't? Come on, people, you gotta be better than that. Think beyond yourself. Think for your next person, your fellow neighbor, your friend's children. I mean, America's deep, my friends. Let's start thinking that way, okay? Because we all, under this country, are a family. And we could be the greatest family if we just all came together for the sake of us, for the sake of together. Because if we're not together, then we're apart. And if we're apart, we're useless, because we're just going to be going against each other like we've seen in history throughout all of this politics. That one against the other just stirs the pot, makes the tide just come in and out, and people are like, oh my God, why does my sandcastle keep getting wrecked? Because one person's trying to tell you, hey, you're building it too close to the shoreline, and the other person's like, no, I build where I want. When the tide comes in and wrecks it, well, now you're going to be blaming the other person because you don't want to admit your own defeat. So let that be the guilt to step up and come together. Because we can't have a back door open for sneaky terrorists to come in and do some damage. Let's get it right, people. Let's fix this, okay? Seriously. Put your heads together. Share this video. Talk about it. People are so afraid to talk. Oh my God, I can't say how I feel because I'm going to get crippled. Well, I got crippled for like a day and a half without no internet because I woke up the other morning and I checked the weather and the clouds and the little radar had a face in it. It looked like freaking Obama. So I made a video and a couple hours later, there goes my internet. Thank God for our offline songs saved, because that saved the day. And I had a really, really cool day. I had a lot of downloads that are proceeding to hear now this video for you to listen. Okay? I have other stuff, but I'll put those out later. And I'll get to your tarot too, okay? But this isn't the only issue. This will not be the only video. And this will be not the last time you see me. But other than that, my friends, Be blessed, be brave, be well. Peace and pray every day. And I'll see you on the next one.